Happy Friday, MJ traders and investors. It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community and the channel that was created by a retail investor for retail investors. As I mentioned, it's Friday. It's November 22nd. Hope you're doing fantastic. In this video, we're going to be discussing the news that came out late yesterday. It had to do with, I posted a video about this yesterday. Matt Gaetz withdrew his bid for Attorney General, and then hours after, Trump actually confirmed that he picked Pam Bondi. So we're going to be discussing who she is, a little bit of background on her, her stance on MD policy. She's very pro crypto as well as expected. So the fact that, Trump's, whole agenda is very pro crypto and very pro business, very pro MJ is the way that we're heading. I think she's going to be a great pick overall. Maybe not as good as Matt Gaetz, but curious to hear what your thoughts and opinions are in the comment section below. We'll continue the conversation there, but we'll discuss whether or not this is good or bad. We'll discuss the good, bad, and the ugly. Before we do, make sure to smash the like. Help support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell. You'll be notified on any future video or when I go live. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. You can also follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPow. So here was the article. BBC, Trump picks Pam Bondi as Attorney General after Matt Gaetz withdraws. I posted a video on this yesterday. If you haven't seen it, check it out. But essentially, a couple of days before it came out, we had some foreshadowing that Donald Trump Jr. said that Trump has a backup plan if his controversial picks don't get basically the job. So that was foreshadowed a couple days before it actually happened. It makes a lot of sense that, if he's going through sexual misconduct allegations, probably not the best pick. As you can see, U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has nominated veteran prosecutor Pam Bondi as his new pick for Attorney General, hours after Matt Gaetz withdrew his name from consideration. And if we take a look at the MJ Moment article, we're also going to jump into 5 things you must know about Pam Bondi, and then we'll look at Grok and see what it says there, and then we'll take a look at the chart. We are seeing a little bit of movement here, so some green in the sector is great to see. So Trump's new Attorney General pick oppose legalizing medical MJ in Florida. Curious to see what her thoughts are now, especially on, after Amendment 3 failed by only 3%. We had 57%. We know that we needed the difficult threshold of 60%. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure we'll get some information at some point soon. But hours after, embattled former Rep. Matt Gaetz withdrew his name from consideration from AG, President-elect has announced Attorney General Pam Bondi would be his new pick for the nation's top law enforcement role. So compared to Gaetz, who is widely known pro-legalization stance on MJ, he had vowed to go easy on the MJ industry and go hard on big tech. Again, more confident, there's basically 2 ways that I see this going down. It's either MJ's going to get hit really hard when the broader market corrects, but I still think that, it's going to be probably the best performing industry, but it could get hit really hard. Just a question of, does it take 6 months or a year for it to fizzle out, or is it going to get hit hard with the big tech drop and the broader market drop and then recover quickly? That remains to be seen. But overall, I do think that, MJ is going to be the macro trade here over the next couple of years. So he vowed to go hard on big tech. So that, again, more proof that we're probably going to see the MJ industry go on a big bull run after big tech AI crypto tops out. So if he got the job, Bondi's record on the issue is far less pro-reform. So AG Bondi opposed efforts to legalize medical MJ while serving in the top state law enforcement role in January 2011 to 2019. She occasionally waded into other MJ-related issues. In at least some of those instances, she was defending laws passed by the legislature, which is generally standard practice for attorneys general. In 2018, Bondi, as Attorney General, filed appeals briefs in state court defending the legislature's ban on smoking medical MJ, with her office citing harms to patients and those exposed to secondhand smoke as ample reasons to exclude smoking from the statutory definition of medical use. So this was a long time ago too, right? We have to be cognizant of that. But Kim Rivers, CEO of the medical MJ company TrueLeave, which bankrolled an MJ legalization initiative that failed to pass this month, said, which was Amendment 3 and yes on 3, said of Bondi on social media Thursday, "I think she's a great pick." Rivers noted that Bondi's opposition to smokable MJ, for example, was following the Governor Rick Scott's direction at that time. So this is great to see. Yeah, overall, it's a pretty lengthy article. I'm not going to go into it, but again, the fact that she's very pro crypto, she fits that agenda nicely, right, with the Trump agenda, and I do think that she's going to be very pro MJ as well. Also, 5 things you need to know about Pam Bondi. So, Pam Bondi, the former Attorney General of Florida, was chosen Thursday to be the top nation's law enforcement official by Donald Trump. So, if we scroll down, she was the first female Attorney General in Florida. She has a close relationship with Lara Trump, and she's a former Trump lawyer. She nixed the Trump University fraud case, and her dog custody battle played out publicly. We'll take a look at what Grok has to say here as well. So Pam Bondi, I put in, will she be friendly towards MJ legalization in the United States as Attorney General? So Pam Bondi's stance on MJ legalization appears to be cautious and more aligned with conservative enforcement rather than progressive reform based on her past actions and positions. So historical positions, they talked about opposed legalizing medical MJ. We already mentioned that. Current sentiment and industry views. Some posts on X suggest that while Bondi has not been a strong advocate for MJ legalization, there are opinions within the MJ industry suggesting she might not be entirely opposed. For instance, comments from industry leaders like Kim Rivers and Brady Cobb seem to indicate a belief or hope that she might be more open to certain aspects of MJ policy, possibly influenced by her involvement in a practice with a specialty in MJ law. Potential for change. There's speculation that under the influence of President-elect Trump's agenda, which some interpret as potentially more favorable towards MJ due to the political potential in opioid reduction. And also, we know that they have the presidency, the House, and the Senate, so that's huge. Bondi might align her policies accordingly. However, this remains speculative as her past record shows a more restrictive approach to MJ. Given these points, it appears unlikely that Pam Bondi would be friendly towards broad MJ legalization in the United States as AG, based on her historical record and public stance. However, her approach might be nuanced, especially if influenced by broader administration policies or shifts in public opinion. Her actions would likely continue to reflect a balance between strict regulatory control and any potential policy shifts under a Trump administration. We know Nancy Mace as well is working on descheduling, which would effectively leave it up to the states to legalize it and remove it from the Schedule 1, remove it from the CSA altogether. We know that rescheduling hearing coming up, the initial meeting in December 2nd, and then we're going to have another follow-up meeting at some point, likely in the end of January or in February of 2025. And again, that's all aligning with when crypto should top out as well, in my opinion. But if we take a look at the leaders on the day today, we've got Canadian LPs, you got Tilray leading the way, CGC and Cron, and on the bear list, you've got BAM, MSOX, and TCNNF. So as I mentioned, I did a video on this yesterday, did some analysis, but yeah, MSOS is a daily bear flag and it's targeting 51 cents. We also have the split coming up, 1 for 20, which is on the 26th. So I mentioned that we'd probably slow bleed into that and then recover at some point after the split. So we are now with a daily lower low on deck today. We did lose the low of yesterday, so a lower low. We're now about 18% away from that daily bear flag target. So curious to hear what everybody else has to say and what you think. What's your opinion with regards to Pam Bondi? Do you think she's a good pick, bad pick? Always love hearing from you. If you want to drop your opinion and your thoughts in the comment section below, we'll continue the conversation there. Once again, happy Friday. It's Rod with Pow Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth, and we'll catch you on the next one.